Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Charles, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and when we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we have another fun episode, and I may go off in this video depending on how it goes. So let's just go ahead and get into it. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel. Now, we all know one of the biggest and most contentious debates on Undisputed is always centered around LeBron James versus Michael Jordan, right? Usually those debates are the ones that make for great TV. Whenever Shannon Sharpe and Skip Bayless are going back and forth, you know, it becomes fireworks on TV, and it makes for great TV, and it's very, very entertaining. However, there's been one thing that Shannon Sharpe has complained about many occasions, ad nauseum, and one of those things is, especially about Skip Bayless, is this: why aren't you as critical about players you like as opposed to players you don't like? And in this case, LeBron James. Skip Bayless has stood on the hill and said, I'm being fair and balanced with LeBron. It's not that I don't like him. You know, I'm just, you know, I'm being just as critical as I would of him, of Michael Jordan, of Kawhi Leonard, of Tom Brady, of everyone else. But what I've noticed is that that's not entirely true. It's not entirely true. And Shannon Sharpe has questioned him about this on numerous occasions. Why are you like this? And there was a classic debate that Skip and Shannon had just last year. And funny enough, it relates directly to the person that I'm going to focus on in this particular video, which is Kevin Durant. There was a classic exchange between Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharpe was fired up after the Brooklyn Nets were eliminated by the Milwaukee Bucks last season in the NBA playoffs in Game 7. So before we go too far, I want to play a little bit of the exchange between Shannon Sharpe and Skip Bayless. But really what I want you guys to focus on, is the audience, is to really focus on some of the points that Shannon Sharpe was making, because really that's what we want to come back and unpack. So take a listen to some of the things that Shannon Sharpe had to say here.
The same amount of blame that you would assess to any other superstar, and the level of blame that you would assess to the greatest player on the planet currently is what Kevin Durant deserves.
Oh, you mean Lagon?
Whoa, hold on, Skip. It's not your turn. It's my turn.
Well,
I don't need no. It's my turn. Let me speak, because I'm gonna turn the floor over to you. The way that you assign a superstar, the best player on the planet, has been established by one Skip Bayless. And it happened in Game 1 against the Golden State Warriors when LeBron James was 51-8-8. And Skip Bayless said, you gotta make you gotta do all this, yada, yada, yada. And in overtime, LeBron James didn't take a single shot. Well, Kevin Durant in overtime was 0 for 6. And he airballed the last shot. And I need to know why. You see, what happens is, everybody was quick to jump on the bandwagon. Kevin Durant is the best player on the planet on Tuesday because he had a historic performance, and there's no denying that. But they asked him to do it again, and he didn't. They asked him to do it again, and he couldn't. Do you see what they asked Kevin Durant to do over the last 3 games? And let me say one more thing before all this gets lost, and I don't want none of this to get lost. Kevin Durant, the best player on the planet, had a 2-0 lead over Giannis. This is not a supers team. Giannis Antetokounmpo is a superstar, but this isn't a super team. You talk about how bad Trae Young shot. I'll see you, Trae Young, and I'll raise your True Holiday. Oh, okay, exactly. Shot 36%. Is that 36 better than the 39? Oh, I didn't think so. But anyway, back to my originally scheduled programming. At the end of the day, it's about superstars. That's what Skip Bayless always tell me. Superstars win this game. And if the guy is what you said he is, he should be able to do that. Now, Tuesday, we're talking about Jeff Green was 8 or 9 from the 3-point line. All Skip Bayless want to talk about was boom, and boom right between y'all, 49, 17, and 10. They say, you know what, KD? Since Kyrie is out and James Harden is still hobbled, we need you to replicate that again. We need you to do what teams have asked LeBron James to do for 18 years. So what you saw on Tuesday for Kevin Durant over 1 game, we've asked LeBron to do that. His entire career, series after series, playoff after playoffs, and he's done it. And when he starts to wear down at the end of the game and he doesn't come through, you don't give him a pass. So with that being said, unfortunately, Skip Bayless, I'm not going to be able to give your guy a pass, Kevin Durant, in this. They lost this game on his home court, which I told you he would. After having a 2-0 lead, has LeBron James ever had a 2-0 lead and blown it? It's a simple yes or no. No. Yes or no, Skip?
I don't know. I
You
haven't
do
looked.
know.
You must have looked it up.
No comment.
He
no
had all
further
those
comment.
cakewalks through the East for all those years.
So when you
all
got
those
Skip,
cakewalks.
let's think about what your guy had. This is easy. He was gonna have it. He was about to get Trae Young. He was about to get a banged up Clippers. He could possibly get a banged up Clippers. LeBron was injured. All these injuries, everything was set up perfect for him.
Except he lost his other two running
We don't do it.
mates.
No. He's the best player on the planet.
He is, and he proved it by far
How?
times 10
He
once
going
again.
home.
I think Shannon Sharpe was absolutely right about pretty much everything that he said, but I want to focus on the first thing that he said. He said, "Why don't you levy the same amount of blame at other players that you do at LeBron?" And he said, if Kevin Durant is truly, in fact, the best player in the world, why don't you criticize him the same way you would criticize LeBron James if LeBron James is the quote unquote best player in the world? And that is an important point that Shannon Sharpe brings up, and I'll tell you why. Whenever Skip Bayless grades LeBron, or, it's critical of LeBron, he always says, well, I'm grading LeBron on the highest curve ever because he's considered to be the GOAT. And some of you guys are saying he's the GOAT, so I'm going to grade him on that curve. Fine. But Shannon Sharpe is saying, wait a minute. If KD is the best player like you say he is, how is it possible that you can constantly come up with excuse after excuse after excuse for this guy? How is it possible? And Shannon Sharpe makes a very sound point. He does. Let me tell you, depending on which one of these videos you're going to see first on our channel, Kevin Durant, these playoffs thus far, has been abysmal. He has been terrible. And any criticism that's going to come his way, he's going to deserve it. He really is. Because although LeBron James is not my favorite player, and I'm not necessarily a fan of his, there are a lot of people that tear LeBron, they go at LeBron when he's in a similar situation. And for those people that are going to go at LeBron, you got to go at KD the same way. Because we just recently did a video, depending on when you're watching these videos, and we proved to you that LeBron James is actually way more dominant against number one ranked defenses than Kevin Durant is, at least up to this point. LeBron flourished against number one ranked defenses. I mean, if you look at that Boston Celtics team, the 2000 and what is it? What's the year? The 2017, I believe it's the 2017, 2018 Boston Celtics team. He was just dismantling them. He was a one-man wrecking crew. And we can't say the same thing about Kevin Durant. So at the end of the day, I think Shannon Sharpe brings up some good points when he's going to talk about the hypocrisy, because trust me, they're going to talk about it. Because Skip Bayless is going to find a way to skirt the issue and say, no, it's not this, it's because of this, it's because of this. But if that was LeBron James, Skip Bayless would be ready to bring down the lights in that studio. He would be hanging from the lights talking about LeBron.